Hello guys, I just thought I'd show you this wall hanging that I've made from repurposed silk flowers that were donated to me. So it's actually been attached to a rather large piece of driftwood. So now we have a very pretty wall hanging to go on the wall, which is completely different. So what I'm going to do today, I'll just pop this to one side. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I went about making that. So to start with, going to need your bit of driftwood. So I've got a nice chunky piece here, which is relatively flat on this occasion. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to make my pilot hole at the top end for my ribbon. So this is just a cheap drill, but it does the job. So not exactly ideal. So here we've got now our piece of driftwood with a hole in for placing in the ribbon. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to cut off a length of ribbon, which I've got this green ribbon here. Let's come to the end of its reel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it by pushing it through the hole. So once this ribbon has been threaded through, just level it off and make a nice tight knot so that can be hung up by the ribbon there. And just to tidy off the ends, I'm just going to do a V shape just to stop the ribbon from fraying. Okay, so once you've established what colour you want your flowers, or whatever flowers you've got available, then obviously you need to make a little bit of an arrangement. So I have these flowers which I've got leaves attached and what have you, but there's far too much wire on these for my liking, so I'm just going to trim these down with some snips. And then I'm going to decide where I'm going to place these flowers. As I said, I don't need all that wire. Oops, that flung off somewhere. So basically this is just a quick mock-up. I mean, I may change the layout. I haven't decided yet, because obviously this is just what I call the mock-up. So that looks kind of nice. And then maybe I would want something in between just to give a little bit of extra colour. Maybe something along those lines. So one that side, that in the middle, one that side, and one there. Oops, my leaves have just come off, so pop them back on. So probably something like that. So then I've got to decide how I'm going to construct this. So as I said, I've already chopped off the wire. So now I've got to be able to lay it in a way that it's going to look attractive. So I'll make sure I turn the flowers around and the leaves around. And then I'm going to start with putting a great big blob of hot glue in my first and lay my first bunch of flowers. So this is just my starting point. Obviously it's extremely hot, so you must be careful not to burn your fingers when it comes to the hot glue. So please be very careful when using hot glue. So I just need something underneath my piece of wood there to keep it upright, because it's just wanting to wobble over. There you go. So I'm just making sure that this hot glue, obviously it's taken, because I put quite a big blob on there, it's taken its time to cool off. Oops. The only thing I don't like about hot glue is the hairy bits, the hairy spaghetti bits. All right, so we've got our first piece on, so that's starting to look nice where it's going to remain. Now what I'm going to do with my hot glue gun is I'm just going to add a little few dots just to hold leaves in place where you want them to stay. Ow, minding not to burn fingers because it is very hot. So just use something to help you pin down the pieces. So I'll just blow a little bit just to help hold down the glue. So I'm going to pop another little dob there just to hold that piece in place. It may look a little bit fake, but this is mainly for background, so we are going to be filling that in a second. So what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start stripping these leaves and what have you that we've got here, because I want to be able to apply things without having so much bulk. So the first one is bulky purely because as I said, I just wanted it to, there you go, I wanted it to be my starting point. So then I've got my next flower, so I'm just going to make sure I've got plenty of glue on the end there to hold him in place. And then I'm going to put the leaves in, but I just need to chop the excess plastic and any wire off because I really don't want all the bulk of the wire and what have you in there. So I'm just working my way down, placing these particular flowers in where I want them. And as I said, each time you do this, you know, you get yourself set ready to, oh, it might look nice there, but then you might change your mind. I do that quite often. And that's purely because I'm doing this by eye and how it looks, you know, where, you know, how pleasing it looks as I'm going down. So as I'm going, I'm just adding in a few embellishments where I want some of the leaves, just to help bulk out and hide some of the glue. Because a lot of this is going to be tidied and tacked with little bits of glue as you go further down. So this is all starting to dry off quite nicely now, so I'm just getting some of the greenery sorted so I know where I'm going to put them. Let's turn this around a wee bit. So every now and again I just lift it up to see how it's looking, to see how, you know, if I'm happy with the way that it's progressing. And then I'll add another blob of glue in here. And I'm going to put in a little carnation in there. And then I'm going to do a little carnation on this other side here. On this side, as you can see, it's starting to come together, but I'm just making sure I'm getting it all glued down nicely, because as I say, you've got to make sure that everything is in place nice and tight, and as you go just do little bits with your hot glue gun just to make sure everything is fixed where you want it fixed, and remove all your hairy bits as you go. Okay, so this is coming along quite nicely. So as I say, now I'm going to start doing some of the adding the fancy bit. So little blobs of glue, add in what you need to go in there. Just push down and hold whilst it sets. The most annoying thing, as I say, about this glue is the fact that it's stringy. You get the hairy bits on it. Oh, it does my head in a wee bit, that's for sure. So it gets everywhere. Alright, so we just keep building on the little pretty frilly bits that are gonna just make the flowers stand out, fill in any spaces that you may have. As I said, as you're going along, you just need to anchor anything that might be loose that you think may fall off if left. Because what you don't want is your piece of work to fall apart and then it look like a dog's dinner. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just going along, making sure everything is tucked away nicely. So I've got here, the flower is just moving off center all the time. So I'm just going to anchor that in place by placing in the glue there. So I just need to hold that. And that sets. But yeah, I like doing these because they use it, reusing silk flowers that ordinarily would have been thrown away perhaps, or just left in a dusty in a cupboard getting dusty or whatever. So yeah, I quite like making these different things with dried flowers, and it's a nice way to use up some driftwood as well, because I think it just gives it that country feel a bit. Alrighty, so I just want to do a little bit of different leaf just to finish off in front of my top flower. So I'm just going to separate that one because they're joined for whatever reason. I think they just join them sometimes and make them look pretty. So pop a little bit of glue in there, and then add my leaf. Pop those others down. You can rearrange your leaves and what have you just to hold them in place, just so that they look good. Lift your petals up on your flowers. So what I do is I do this all the way down. I start doing little enhancements. If I think something is missing and needs a little bit of extra something, then I can place it in as I'm going. So basically I'm just doing, ow, that's hot, some little embellishments as I'm going down. I'm going to do a wee bit underneath on the last lot of flowers here. Just to bring that up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's looking quite nice. And I may just put a little bit of this white bubbly stuff in. I don't know what it's called. It seems to be stuck together. See if I can't put them in together. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. Give that a little bit of a extra blob of glue just to hold that in place. Let's turn my glue gun off for a minute because it's filling up. I don't ever, with all the leftover leaves and what have you, I never chuck them out. I keep them because you never know when you want more foliage. And there's always a chance that you probably will need more foliage just to finish off little bits and bobs that is looking a little bit sparse. I'd say the hot glue tends to stick to your fingers every now and again, which can be quite hot. Ouch. Yeah, it is very warm. So you really do need to be careful where you're sticking your fingers because it is very uncomfortable. Right, so once you've done a certain amount, you just need to hold it up so it's upright. See where you need to add more flowers maybe. And if you're quite happy, then you can just, for example, I just need to go down the sides a wee bit just to anchor in some of these leaves on the edge, because they're going to be flapping around otherwise. Oops. And as the glue gun is cooling down, ow, 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 that's hot. So that I have to get myself some finger protectors, I think, for when I'm using the glue gun, because it does get really, really warm. So as I say, I'm just helping the leaves to lay down slightly so it looks neat, so it doesn't look like it's going to be flying off somewhere. Only little dibbles, just to hold it in place. As I say, you don't want it, you know, people looking at it and going, that's a bit of a messy glue job. So just hold it down. And then, as I said, always go back and check, see how it's all looking for you. Hold it upright in front of you so that you can see. I know you can't see on the camera right now, but that's what we're looking at so far. And I think that's looking really splendid, really looking pretty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a ribbon on the bottom. So I do have a box of mixed ribbon. Because we're all pinks and reds, I'm not quite sure whether we want a light pink or a dark pink or a purpley pink. Let's have a look, see what goes best. So we've got that sort of pink. Oh no, not that one. We've got that sort of pink. No, don't like that one either. So I think the nearest to is going to be this one. So I'm just going to pop this on the bottom, just to have a little embellishment on the bottom of my, I would say the glue gun's cooling off now, so we'll stick that wee bow there. Just as a little pretty finish to the job that we've just done. So give that a good push down. And there you have the completed repurposed silk flowers on driftwood, which you can hang on a wall, and then I think that will make a very pretty wall hanging. All right, so let's get this other one back over from the yellow. I hope you enjoyed this video today. So, you know, nothing is impossible. You can recreate with leftover flowers without a problem, and I just give it a go, because, you know, you can make something extremely pretty for your home, recycling or upcycling things that you ordinarily would normally throw away when you've got to the end of its, you know, you got bored with it or what have you. So anyway, give it a go. Hope you like this video. So give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and make some comments, and let me know if you want to see some more creations like this, and I'll see what I can do. So until next time, get creative. Bye.